Episode 6. Impractical Applications. Quentin is going nuts. His first and greatest true love, Fillory, is a real place. The only thing is, the beast was never mentioned at all in the books. Julia is trying her hardest to grasp onto any shred of magic that she can have. As she goes down one of her leads to try to find magic again, she realizes she's been followed by a woman who introduces herself as Hannah, a fellow Marina hater. She has some spells she would share with Julia, but on the condition that Julia does them with her. She hasn't had anyone to practice magic with in a very long time, and she misses it. Katie ends up tattooing Penny the anti-traveling tattoo, which locks him into only being able to astral project. Penny wants it because he hopes by not being able to travel anymore, he will escape the attention of the beast. The first years get gathered for the trials. They are a series of tasks that are meant to weed out the weak. For the first trial, they get put into groups of 3 and are tasked with decoding a spell by 9 a.m. Penny and Quentin, along with another third year, are grouped together. After trying and failing a few times to try to decode the spell on their own, Quentin comes to the realization that they have been Kobayashi Maru'd. The trial is meant to be near impossible, and so maybe the actual trial isn't decoding the spell, but figuring out how to complete the trial with your own limitations. Penny and Quentin realize that even though this task is near impossible for them, this task isn't impossible for Alice, being the genius she is. They don't need to figure out how to decode this, they just need to copy her answers. They come up with an idea to have Penny astral project behind her and basically copy down her answers. Their third group member is very against this idea, saying he doesn't believe in cheating, but goes along with it anyways, as he also doesn't know how to decode the spell. As expected, Alice completes the spell, and since they are copying off of her, they are able to as well. Elliot comes over and congratulates them for passing the trial, saying he knows they cheated, but that is not being accounted against them. It is being accounted against their third group member who was unwilling to cheat, and he gets failed out. In between trials, Marco and Quentin have a moment. She asks if he has ever wanted something so bad, and then when you got it, realized it was nothing like what you thought, and maybe you were stupid for even wanting it in the first place. Saying, does it really matter if Fillory sucks if you never intended on going there in the first place? As he mulls this over, the world starts going hazy and he realizes that Margot drugged him. The first years all wake up in the woods. They are on the next trial. The next trial is to use the item that they are given to complete a task, without the aid of magic. Quentin is given a bow and arrow and is tasked with catching a fish. Alice has a rope and she has to cut down a tree. Katie has a net to catch a pheasant, and Penny has an axe to catch a horse. After all of them unsuccessfully try to complete the trial with the item given, Penny figures out that maybe the task isn't to do something really hard, but rather to work together. Penny grew up in Florida, so he knows how to catch a fish. Quentin went to junior ranch camp, so he knows how to catch a horse. Alice knows how to use a bow and arrow, and while Katie, she can cut down a tree. With them redistributing their items and tasks, they all complete the trial and pass. Julia and Hannah have been trying to figure out a way how to steal some of Marina's spells. As they're trying to figure out how they're going to accomplish this, Julia finds out Hannah's dirty secret. Her dirty secret is that Katie is her daughter, and the reason why she has been excommunicated by Marina is because she royally messed up on a job and led to the demise of another person, which left her in debt to Marina. Because Hannah is unreliable, it has left Katie in debt to Marina instead. Katie is upset with what her mom does, but is still willing to pay off of her debt. At first, Julia thinks of cutting Hannah off from the spell and doing it on her own, but as she goes to try to do it, it starts to backfire. But luckily, Hannah shows up and goes, "Hey, I'll help you, please. The only reason I want to do this is because I want to stop being a fuck up in front of my daughter." Hannah and Julia sort of see a kindred eye in each other and the mistakes they've made. They end up doing the spell together, and they are able to get a filing cabinet from Marina's base into theirs. But as Hannah goes to grab it and pull out the spells, she finds a card that says, "Nice try," and then all of a sudden she starts bleeding out. She warns Julia that Marina is on the way, and Julia calls 911. The last trial that the first years have to do is to share their utmost deepest secret with another first year. They are given a bit of a hand fasting spell, which binds your hands until you reveal your deepest secret, at which point the rope becomes untied. Penny and Katie are paired up, as well as Alice and Quentin. Penny gets paired up with Katie, and Alice gets paired up with Quentin. Penny's truth is that he has been slowly falling in love with Katie, but Katie's truth is that the only reason she approached him in the beginning is because he looked like he was the most useful. Both of their ropes fall off. Alice and Quentin really struggle with telling their deepest secrets and spend the entire evening trying and failing. Once it comes to the end of the period, they figure they fail, and with the pressure off, they are able to share their deepest secret. Alice shares that she's always holding back as she tries to appear closer than normal. Quentin's is that he's a runner. He can never run far enough away from a problem. Their ropes fall off, and as they were standing on a roof to do their confessions, they end up falling off the roof, and then they reappear, but now as geese, and they fly off to join the other first years who passed the trial, and they all start flying away in a little V geese formation.